Hey, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Fen and I'm from Belbin. I'm lucky enough to be joined today by Elena Hinova-McNamee, who is going to shed some light on team coaching, what it is, maybe what it isn't, and how internationally applicable it is in the current sort of environment. Now, Ellie has spent an extensive amount of time overseas, splitting her time between Bulgaria and my neck of the woods, Australia, using team coaching to help teams grow and really sort of evolve into really effective high-performing teams. So, Ellie, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Fen. Lovely to be in that space with you and talk about one of my favorite topics, team coaching.
Yeah, excellent. Awesome. Well, let's get straight into it, shall we? So, first off the bat, how does team coaching differ as a practice from one-to-one more traditional styles of coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it's a very important one because we need to dive deep and understand what team coaching really is and how it's different so that we know if a team is ready for it and wants it. So, of course, one-on-one coaching is focused on an individual, whereas team coaching is focused on the team, where the team is a whole, dynamic, interdependent, right? This is very important to put a stress on it. So one-on-one coaching is partnering. It's partnering with an individual in a thought-provoking process. And this is a creative process where inspiration and guidance come from the coach so that solutions for the client emerge. In that sense, team coaching is similar, whereas, as I said at the beginning, the focus is on the team as a one interdynamic whole. And very often there's confusion between group coaching and team coaching. I've seen this and I've had these discussions out there. So it's important to clarify this because when we coach a group, we coach the individual in the group. When we coach a team, we coach, as I said, the team as a whole. So there are many definitions out there. I'll share my definition of team coaching. It's a partnering with a team as a dynamic, interconnected whole with the purpose to generate awareness and as well generate energy so that the members connect and collaborate so that they can achieve a compelling and meaningful purpose. Yeah. You mentioned about traditional modalities. If I can elaborate on this.
Yeah, no, please do. Yeah.
Yes, about team development, we have heard about obviously team building, there's training, there's team consulting, there's mentoring, there's facilitation, and there are differences.
Yeah.
There are different team coaching. So the main difference is who owns the process. So in the above mentioned modalities, it is the expert that is managing the process for the team, being it a consultant, being it even a facilitator, because there's also this subtle difference between a facilitator and a team coach.
Yeah, and I think they're often used interchangeably. Yeah.
No, yeah, no, they're not. They're not.
Although, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, although a coach can work well on the continuum between a facilitator and a team coach, and usually at the beginning of the process with the team, that team coaching journey, the coach can be more into the facilitating role. But the more they go deeper on the journey, the more the coach becomes a real team coach. So it's who owns the process. In team coaching, the team is the expert. They know their challenges, and the team coach creates that safe environment, safe container where they can find the solutions they're looking for to become a thriving, high-performing team, whatever they're aiming at. Does this make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. What's interesting is when you talk about putting the ownership on the team, I guess my next question is, do teams sometimes struggle with that level of introspection and understanding? And how does this sort of nest with the IDG goal 1 of like being?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, there is difficulty at the very beginning when we start the process. And I've reflected on this a lot. And the reason is that teams are used to someone coming from outside who has the expertise to solve their problem, to tell them what they have to do. And in team coaching, it's a completely different space. And very often at the beginning, teams are shocked, if I may use this word, because they expect someone coming and solving everything for them. So relating to the IDGO being, as you said, it's the inner development goals. Being is more relating to the relationship with ourselves, how we show up, how we act in alignment with our core. I call it our inner core, our values, our intentions, our purpose, our vision for life. Also, how open we are, how curious we are, how present and self-aware we are. So all these inequalities definitely make a person more introspective and more at ease when there's a team coaching approach. And as team consists of individuals, and obviously these individuals can have different levels of self-awareness, they show up in a different way. It can be very dynamic and complex, and they're influencing each other consciously and subconsciously. There's emotional contagion, etc., etc. So it is important, the more mature the team members are in the sense of being more self-aware, the easier it is to step into that modality and working with the team. This depends on if they have done individual one-on-one work before. It depends on many, many factors, and we cannot all the teams under the same roof, if you know.
Each team is going to be its own sort of construct, and it's going to have its own combination of experiences and whatnot. So I guess as a coach, that would be quite a challenge. So I guess for you as a coach, how have you found that you've developed your style, having worked internationally and having worked with so many different teams? What's your sort of coaching journey been like, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, sure. Well, my coaching journey started in 2014 when I left the corporate world, and it's been quite a journey, very exciting. So I did graduate initially as one-on-one coach with the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, and I did a lot of work. And once we start as coaches to do that inner work, it's ever going. And I think first and foremost, this is very, very important to show up brave and even fearless into the space of the unknown, because this is what we're facing when we team coach, as this is team's agenda. Client's agenda is very, very the first thing we need to know and embrace as team coaches. So then my journey was moving together with one-on-one executive leadership coaching into team facilitation. And facilitating, I saw it works. It's not so sustainable. I saw some limitations. So then I wanted to find something that has more of deep and sustainable impact on the team. And this is how I came across team coaching. I was fascinated and I said, this is where I want to be. And I graduated with Team Coaching Studio as a team coach. And here I am. I'm also Belbin accredited practitioner, and I'm looking into putting all the experience and knowledge I have into my own approach, my own philosophy, which I think it's very, very important, how you show up as a team coach, knowing yourself, being yourself, because very often it's about being in your presence in the here and now, and how we navigate in the complex space and relationships and everything that is emerging. So it's about the coach presence and the coach also way of being and coach's philosophy, if this makes sense to you.
No, it does. Yeah, it's it's like you said earlier. It's that partnership between the coach and the team. Both parties in that relationship need to be sort of suitably on the same page, by the sound of it, to truly create that space for team coaching to be facilitated. I guess the final sort of note I'd like to leave on is, from your perspective, Ellie, anyone who's sort of thinking about team coaching or wants to sort of go into it or find out more, what's the one thing you want to leave people with about team coaching? What's the one thing that you would sort of see as the defining characteristic or most important thing to go into it with? Big question, I know.
Yeah, it's a big question. Well, let me see if I understand correctly. Like a final thought in order, what are the ingredients to be a great team coach, or more on like a final thought in general?
Well, more in general, I'd say, for anyone listening who would want to go and give team coaching a try themselves or use it with their team, what would you want to leave them with?
Well, first of all, it's the trust. I say it's trusting that only in teams that are in their ideal existential shape, which for me is thriving teams. Some call them high-performing teams. We can solve the complex issues we're solving nowadays, and also trusting in themselves, working on themselves to become role models, and trusting in themselves and trusting that journey. So it's trust. That is the final thought I would leave.
No, that's a good one as well. I like that. Trust. Yeah, trust in yourself and the team and the process seems quite fundamental to the whole process, to be fair. Well, Ellie, thank you so much for your time. It's cleared up a lot of my questions again. So thank you very much, and look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Thank you, Fen. It was a lovely conversation. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.